The war had left nothing untouched. Cities once filled with color were now ash and steel bones. The skies of Calthera Prime still burned orange from orbital strikes that had ended weeks ago. Among the ruins, scattered survivors, both human and alien, struggled to hold on to whatever life could be rebuilt. And in the shattered husk of what used to be a medical outpost, Lyraven lay in silence, staring at the ceiling with eyes dulled of light. She was of the Veari, tall, graceful, armored with pale chitin across parts of her body, born for strength and swiftness. Her people were warriors by necessity, protectors of the core systems. But the war had broken them as it had broken her. Her right leg ended at the thigh. What remained was bound in rough bandages, but no craft of her people could ever restore what was lost. The Veari prided themselves on perfection, on wholeness, on never showing weakness. And now she was ruined. Her tribe had fled the planet. The transports had left her behind. To them she was no longer a soldier, merely a burden. The thought replayed endlessly. I am useless. Am nothing. Her mandibles clicked weakly in despair as she turned her head away. If fate had been kind, the rubble would have crushed her outright. But fate, it seemed, had another plan. The human medic. The door to the ruined clinic creaked. A figure stepped in, dusting soot from a worn military jacket. Human. Shorter, softer, no armor, no natural blades or spines. Yet he walked with a strange resilience, as though the weight of the ruins around them could not touch him. Anyone alive in here? His voice carried, not commanding but hopeful. Lyraven stiffened. She had seen humans fight. Fragile bodies that bled so easily. Yet they fought with fire that startled even the strongest Veari warlords. She closed her eyes, unwilling to be seen like this. The human found her anyway. He crouched beside her, his face shadowed by a rough beard. His eyes alert but warm. Damn! He muttered softly, seeing the bandaged stump. You've been like this how long? She hissed weakly, a defensive reflex. Leave me. I am already nothing. But instead of pity or disgust, he gave a small, crooked smile. Funny. You're still breathing, talking, glaring at me with those big golden eyes. Doesn't look like nothing to me. She blinked, taken aback. He set his battered pack down and began pulling out equipment. Strange metal instruments, rolls of synthetic fiber, even a compact device that hummed with soft blue light. I'm Corporal Marcus Hale, he said as he worked. Field medic. Not much of a soldier, but I patch people up well enough. You've got infection creeping up. If I don't clean this now, you'll be gone in a day. Lyraven's chest tightened. She wanted to tell him to leave her, that she had no future. But the warmth in his voice cut through her despair like sunlight through storm clouds. Do what you will, human, she whispered finally. Marcus grinned. That's the spirit. Spark of hope. Days blurred into nights as Marcus tended her. He brought her clean water from melted ice stores, ration bars from his dwindling supplies, and when he could, he braved the ruins to scavenge medicine. He cleaned her wound with care, applied grafting gel, and used his odd humming device to knit tissue and halt infection. The pain was sharp, but each day she felt herself drawn back from the brink. More startling than his medical skill, however, was his presence. He talked endlessly, not just about the war but about little things. About Earth's oceans that stretched farther than sight. About the taste of fresh bread pulled from a fire oven. About music, that strange human art of shaping sound into emotion. You'd like violins, Marcus told her one night as he changed her bandages. They sing and cry at the same time. Like they're alive. I cannot imagine sound as alive, she said softly. Then I'll play it for you once we're off this rock. The certainty in his voice made her mandibles twitch in something she hadn't felt in weeks. Amusement. She began speaking in turn. About the Veari rituals of honor. About the great crystal forests of her homeworld. About how her people carved their life stories into the armored plates of their own bodies. Marcus listened as though every word was treasure. And slowly, the thought that she was useless began to loosen its hold. The gift of a leg. One morning, Marcus set a strange device beside her cot. Long and metallic, jointed like a limb, with pale plating almost like her own chitin. What is that? She asked warily. He smirked. Your ticket out of self-pity. Prosthetic. Scavenged most of the parts from a wrecked exosuit. Not pretty but functional. Her heart pounded. She had seen prosthetics before, but crude ones meant only for basic movement. This one looked deliberate, crafted. Why waste such effort on me? She whispered. Marcus knelt, meeting her eyes. Because you're not wasted. 'Cause you're alive. And because I don't leave people behind. Her chest ached with something unfamiliar. Hope raw and trembling. The fitting was painful, awkward. The prosthetic fused with her thigh through a blend of grafting gel and human engineering. 4 hours, Marcus adjusted the mechanics, guiding her through the first agonizing attempts to stand. She fell again and again, but each time he was there, hauling her back up with those deceptively strong human arms. Until finally, trembling and sweating, she stood on 2 legs again, one of flesh, one of steel. She swayed, then steadied. And for the first time since the battle, she felt whole. Tears stung her golden eyes. I walk again. Marcus grinned, exhausted but proud. Damn right you do. The return of strength. With each passing day, she grew stronger. The prosthetic moved more fluidly, responding almost like her true limb. She relearned balance, speed, even the art of combat drills. Marcus sparred with her using a scavenged staff, laughing even when she knocked him flat. You're supposed to go easy on the medic, you know, he protested once, lying flat on his back. She tilted her head, mandibles twitching in a smile. The Veari do not go easy, even on fragile humans. Fragile. Tell that to my ribs. Their laughter echoed through the ruined outpost. But strength was not the only thing returning. Something deeper grew between them, unspoken yet undeniable. The way his hand lingered when helping her up. The way her gaze followed him when he moved through the rubble. The warmth that filled her chest when he smiled. And she began to wonder, perhaps what she had found was more than survival. Choice. Salvation came in the form of a rescue beacon. One evening, as Marcus repaired a comm relay, static cleared and a faint signal pulsed. A Veari ship in orbit, searching for survivors. Lyraven froze. To return to her people meant honor restored, perhaps even command again. Yet, would they accept her with a prosthetic limb? Or cast her aside once more? Marcus saw the turmoil in her eyes. That's your ride home. They'll take you back. And you? She asked softly. He shrugged. I'll keep patching up whoever needs me. That's what I do. Her chest tightened. The thought of leaving him here, among ruins and loneliness, was unbearable. He had given her more than a leg. He had given her back herself. And perhaps something even greater. A new beginning. When the Veari ship descended days later, armored warriors stepped onto the broken soil. Their eyes widened at the sight of her walking on 2 legs once more.